Okay, we're going to get right into April's income. So $4,500 for April. That's net income, less taxes, medical, dental, and 401k. That's my husband's income and mine together. Rent, $1,400. Electric, $125. US cell, $69. That's for just one cell phone. The electric is just our electric. Car insurance, $71. That's comprehensive and liability. Renter's insurance is $30. Our kitty eats $80 worth of food a month. Groceries $400. I spent $196 in April. Gas is $60. As far as the savings that we prioritized, we put money into a high yield savings. Moving expenses $208 a month. New car expenses new car to purchase one $208 a month. Old car maintenance $100 a month. Retirement Roth IRA $675 a month. Emergency 6 month, we just started that, $202 a month, and down payment for a home $306. And then with the balance, cash stuffing for 2026 envelopes. And those this year where that money came from tax return, Christmas tax return, eBay sales, and Facebook Marketplace. And so the envelopes that I stuffed this year, which we're working on for next year, was Christmas $200, birthday $160, anniversary $60, friends miscellaneous $100, charity $150, garden $87, day trip $200, birdseed $200, streaming subs, we just have Netflix, it's $100. Walmart Plus I got half off or half special, so $49. Thrive is $59 a year, and Instacart $22. And so previous to this, when we had credit cards or overtime or extra money or lots of eBay sales and stuff like that, we just simply had that money. We put it in our wallets or into our checking account or whatever, and there it was. I mean, it was someplace. And so birthdays came along, I just, went to the ATM or checked the checkbook and stuff like that. And oftentimes it went over 160, anniversary went over 60, friends miscellaneous over 100. It was whatever money we had on hand. We didn't really put it in a bucket or a basket or anything in a savings account or in our checking account. It just was put in, and then the money was taken out for these particular things. And that doesn't work real well for us. We end up overspending or declaring that, just put it on the card or something like that. And when we went and paid off our debt, we didn't want that anymore. So we went back to what we had in the beginning of our marriage, and that was envelopes that have birthday, anniversary, and so on and so forth written on them. And then we put the amount that we can budget into them. And when the birthday comes along, that's what we have to spend. And that is a tangible envelope with cash in it that works really, really well for me. It's just it worked 30 years ago for us. It worked when I was single, before I had all these expenses, and it's working now. So we are then taking the balance of our income every month and working on stuffing those exact same envelopes for next year. We did have some goals for this year as far as what was really super prioritized, and that we will get to in a minute. But next, after we complete these priorities, our next priority is to get a new bed and 2 new recliners. Our recliners are 15 years old, and they've had it. They've just had it. Mine has been broke for probably 10 years, the wood, so it doesn't even go back anymore. So we need to get something that's comfortable to sleep on and comfortable to sit on. So our income was the same in May. And of course our expenses were exactly the same. And and at the end, 116 was put into envelopes. And our income, when June came, if you'd have been watching previous videos of mine, you know that the first week of June, I no longer have a job again. Yep, I keep picking the wrong sector to get into. The first one was a large accounting firm that had government contracts, and I was working with a team on a VA contract, and yep, that went bye-bye. And then it didn't take me too long, and I got one just locally that was no longer remote. I was leaving the house part-time, and that was to do with Medicare billing, and that has gone bye-bye as well. They're just going to stick with the person that's been there all the while, and she's just not going to have a part-time assistant, so somebody to help her out. So I have an interview the first week of July, so we'll see how that goes. So our income has been $4,500 each month, April, May, and June, and expenses have been the same. Things that we prioritized at the beginning of the year was we needed to save a deductible for my husband's surgery of $1,500, emergency fund for our cat, a fund for old car maintenance. We save every month for a new car, retirement savings, and then I wanted to up my contribution to Roth IRA 15%, and my husband up his contribution to a 401k to 12%. So we did manage to save the in a sinking fund the deductible for my husband's surgery, our cat's emergency fund. We're right on track to have $10,000 saved. We've been doing this is the third year now. $10,000 saved for a new car. We had a garage sale here 3 weeks ago, and I made $900 at the garage sale, and I'm going to work hard to get stuff up on eBay or other places online to get, the more we sell, the less we have to pack up. When we're leaving, the less we have to pay for moving expenses, so it's a win-win. We're on track to have $5,000 saved, and that I don't have it written here, but the 6-month savings should be here too, where we have a general savings and then we have a 6-month emergency savings, and I don't have that written in this list of priorities, but that was a big priority that we started in April and we will do through till the end of the year. And I was able to increase my contribution to the Roth IRA and my husband his contribution to the 401k. So those things are going along, and we're managing to stay debt-free still. Our sources of income this year so far have been my husband's income, my income, unemployment, consulting, a garage sale, Facebook Marketplace, leftover in the grocery budget, and a tax return. There was no other sources of income this year. We're very fortunate to have what we do and very fortunate to be able to stay debt-free, and that I'm going to work as hard as possible to stay debt-free. I was never one to have credit cards. Nothing against those people that do have credit cards. There is a place, obviously, but my spending behaviors and my husband's spending behaviors they just don't fit well with credit. So my husband grew up kind of in an affluent household where everybody had everything they wanted, and I grew up a farmer's daughter where everything was a struggle. So I worked from the time I was 12 until basically the first part of June, and my husband has been lucky enough to be in the same job for 25 years, right close to where he grew up his whole life. So, and just the same job at the same place with the same people, whereas I worked all over in all kinds of different jobs. So we're both really different when it comes to that. He's okay with credit and okay with buying things on credit, and I'm just not. But neither one of us have the personality to make credit a good thing. His parents were for credit cards and for putting things on credit, but of course they tried to pay the balance off, and my parents were dead set against them, so wouldn't allow ever to have a credit card. In fact, they went to go on a vacation after being married for 25 years and couldn't find anywhere to stay because they all asked for credit cards, which would be the only reason that I would get another credit card is for travel. So my parents ended up having a friend of theirs book kind of like a 25-year anniversary hotel room for them. So there's, it's just too easy for us. And now I'm having to take the things that we did buy on credit or we did buy that we really didn't need and try to sell them. And of course I get less than what we paid for, but we don't want to have to pay to haul them all away or pay to have all the stuff that's been purchased over the last 20 years stored someplace. So now it just gets down to once we have our bills paid and we get some groceries and stuff like that, we have prioritized savings and retirement, and we've prioritized the envelopes that we stuff, and after that, that's it. So there isn't any, overspending or impulse spending or buying things or buying duplicates or buying extra or buying something that's on sale or that looks nice. We have enough. We have more than enough, and it's been really exhausting trying to get it all decluttered, cleaned out, and made ready for sale on Facebook or, and I'm not talking about, this astronomical amount of stuff. But over 20 years, buying clothes that, we turned around, we hadn't worn in a year, or jackets or shoes or home goods and stuff like that. They just need to go. So we haven't used them, we aren't using them, and somebody else can definitely use them. So it's been a change in the lifestyle, but for me, it's a lot less worry, and it's a lot less to keep track of, and, it's just like a razor sharp focus to make sure that we're saving. And it just feels good to know that if an emergency occurs, I don't have to grab a credit card or start, wondering how it's going to get taken care of. Hopefully we've saved enough to at least take care of it. So that is our second quarter budget. I'll have another one at the end of the third quarter, another one at the end of the year. If you do cash stuffing or budgeting like this, or you've been saving on groceries, I'll have videos coming out to show kind of how I've been doing things different. I've said it over and over in my videos how I went from $1,200 to $1,000 to $800 to $600 to $400, and I have had months now where I've spent $200 on groceries. So there's a lot of different ways that I'm doing things. I hope that I can continue to do things that way, and I will definitely share them in future videos, plus cooking and a garden update and much more. So if that all sounds good to you, please hit the subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. Please leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, take care, be well, and I'll talk to you again.